In this video, I'm going to show you the basics of an app called Explain Everything to help you begin video creation. First, tap on the Explain Everything icon. And when you look at the dashboard of Explain Everything, up at the very top, you have several items for how you can begin the creation of your videos. Now, depending on what you have stored or what cloud services you have, will determine where you want to begin in creating your videos. So for me, I have my Google Drive linked to Explain Everything. So on my Google Drive folder, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to search for a particular PowerPoint. I'm going to select this one here. So it's going to load, and then I'm going to click Choose. And the app is going to prepare my presentation. So when you look at the dashboard of Explain Everything, here on the left side you have different tools, right? The hand tool allows you to move items, images, or the slide itself. You have a writing tool, and when you hold on to the writing tool, you can choose the size of your pen. You have a highlighter. Again, when you tap on it twice, you can choose the size of your pen. You have shapes, right? And you can choose from a variety of shapes. You can add text. You can change the font and the size of the text. You can also add different media from outside sources into your presentation, which is one of the cool features about this app. If you hit the X button, you can undo certain things. If you hit the laser pointer, now you have a laser pointer that you can use, and if you tap on it again, you can choose what type of laser pointer you want. And then you have this thing called the inspector tool. So the inspector tool allows you to do a variety of different things to some of your images, or allows you to paste slides or cut and paste images or shapes. But what I use is I use the lock feature. And what the lock feature does, it allows me to lock certain aspects of an image within a video. So we'll show you that later as we go through the program. And then you have an undo button if you need to undo something. And then the last two, I'm really not going to discuss. You guys can explore that on your own. On the bottom, right, you have a slide sorter. So here you have all of the slides for this particular presentation. And then you have a left and a right arrow, which allows you to advance or go back on a certain slide. And then the plus symbol allows you to add another slide, a blank slide if you'd like. Then you have the record. So this button, the red button, is record. You have play if you want to play back and see what you've recorded. You have fast forward and rewind. And then here's the timeline. So when I tap on that, you can actually see the timeline of your recording along with the animations and the audio that you lay down for your particular slide. Here's the microphone. You want to make sure that your microphone is turned on. If it has a slash mark through it, that means it's turned off, which means you have to go into your settings of your iPad and allow Explain Everything to access your microphone. And then this red arrow here, these are the different record features. So you can record straight or overwrite, right, if you want to go over something or delete something. And then mix is if you want a combination of different things, animations, audio, over one another. And then finally, on the very right-hand side, you have where would you like to export your final product. You also have saving your product, right? Make sure you title it appropriately. And then the last is going back to the home screen. All right, so where do we begin? In my introductory slide here, chapter 12 of the cardiovascular system, I'm simply going to hit record and just record an audio. So when I click the red button down below, I can record whatever it is I need to record for this particular slide. And then I would go ahead and hit pause. Then I would go to the next slide. And on the next slide, you may have to do some preparation. So my advice to you before you do anything, any type of audio recording, is always go ahead and prepare your presentation before you start recording. It will take a little bit of time, but in the long run, it will be easy just to record straight through your whole entire presentation. So this gives me an opportunity to show you some of the features over here on the left side. How can I create transitions or animations similar to that in PowerPoint? First, I'm going to make some of these terms disappear. And the way to do that is I'm going to select the Shapes button. So when I select Shape, I'm going to choose Square. And when I choose Square, I'm going to go down below and I'm going to change the color from black to white. And then I have to change the outline as well to white. And what this does is, now if I drag my finger over Superior Vena Cava, it magically disappears. Now, the problem with this is, I can move this shape anywhere, and I don't want to do that. I want to lock the functions of the shape. So what I'll do is I'll hit the Inspector tool, and I'll choose Lock. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to lock certain features of this shape. So then I have to tap on the shape, and notice it appears. And then what I'm going to lock is I'm going to lock the rotation, I'm going to lock the scale, and in this case I'm going to lock the horizontal properties of this shape. So when I go back and hit the hand tool, now all I do in terms of the shape, I can only move it up or down. Right? So this gives me the appearance of an animation. So if I go back and record, I can record me moving the animation, the shape, such as that. And then I'll go ahead and push pause, and there we go. And now you have your first animation. Now, let's say instead of having text appear or disappear, let's say I wanted to create an animation with a shape. So again, I'd select a shape. Maybe this time we'll choose the arrow. I'll select a different color, and then when I tap on the screen, the shape will appear. And if I wanted to talk about blood flow, I can simply record my animation, or me moving the shape to wherever I want. What if I wanted to add text? Then simply click on the text box, tap on the screen, and you'll be able to type in text. And then you'll be able to move this text wherever you want. You can resize it, change the font, or whatever you want to do. Now let's say you don't want to add a shape for an animation and you don't want to add text, but now you want to write something or you want to annotate over your lecture. Go ahead and click the pencil tool, right? Choose the correct width that you want. I'm going to make mine a little bit thicker. Go down and choose a different color. In this case, I'm going to choose red, and then go ahead and start writing. So I can do this, entitle this The Left Ventricle. So these are just some of the basic things that you guys can do for your presentations in order to make videos for flipping your classroom. So once you're done with all of your recording for your video, my advice to you would be to go back to your first slide and watch the whole entire presentation from start to finish. That way you can monitor any mistakes or fix or edit any mistakes that you may have within your video. In order to see the whole entire project, just hold the play button and another play button will appear, and you push that play button and it will play your video as if you were watching it from a YouTube channel or from whatever method you want your kids to stream it from. Now, once you have determined that the video is exactly how you want it, what you want to do next is you want to export the video. So go ahead and click the icon with the up arrow within the square. You're going to click export, but you're going to click on where do you want to export it to. My advice again would be to export it to Google Drive since you have unlimited space. And then choose the folder or the area where you want to export and then click export. Change the title and then click OK. So now your video is going to render, and depending on the size of your video will determine how long it renders for. Okay, so now that you have success, go ahead and click OK, and now go ahead and hit home. It's going to ask you to save. Yes, you want to save. Go ahead and title your project appropriately, however you want, and then go ahead and tap on save. Okay, and it should appear in your dashboard right here. Okay, so you can go ahead and close this app, and we'll talk about what to do next with your finished video. So now that you've uploaded your video to your Google Drive, what do you do next? First, open your Google Drive, find your video, and what you want to do is you want to change the settings or the permissions for this video. So right click, hit share, then go to advanced. And what you want to do is you want to change your video to public. Or if you want to change it to anyone with the William S. Hart School District email can view it. But I usually choose public. Then go ahead and click save. And this link that you see up here, you want to Control-C or copy this link. Once you have this link copied, you can insert this link into your website or you can insert it into Google Classroom. And that's how your students will be able to view your videos. And this is how I use Explain Everything to make videos for Flipped Classroom.